What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode. Today, I have a brother coming to me today, hopping on. He's going to be providing a lot of value. I actually met him through one of our top agency clients that they pump a lot of volume, buy a lot of leads, and write a lot of business. But none
Sure.
other than Aiden. Thank you for hopping on today, brother.
I appreciate having me on, Trey.
Of course, man. Of course. Let me deafen this real quick. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Well, I don't know much about your story at all, so I'm super
Yeah,
interested. The people watching are. Tell us a little bit about, bro. How did you even get into the life insurance space?
probably a pretty different story than most people. I was playing college basketball freshman, sophomore year, ended up tearing my ankle and everything, had surgery. After that, I decided, hey, I'm done with sports. Started working. My dad's in the garbage industry, so I was literally on the back of a garbage truck from the age of 13, 14 years old. Did that all the way up until college. Obviously, went to play sports, got the injury, came back, went back to the garbage industry. I was managing sites, I was making six figures, but the biggest thing for me is I kind of knew that there was something else out there that didn't really have a cap on like how much money you can make, and it all is dependent strictly on how much work you put into it. So I was always trying to find a new thing, be a business owner. I tried my own junk removal, I tried power washing, I tried door knocking, a little bit of everything. Actually, this is my first actual sales job. So this is the first time I've ever been in sales. I've been in it for about a year and some change. My first year, I believe I wrote about $150,000 in IP. This year, fast forward, we're in July. I think I'm already at about 170 IP. Recently just started working with Lead Labs. And I have a couple guys on it as well, and we're liking it so far. It kind of helped us take my next step. I had my team doing about 100, a little bit over 100 the last 3 months. July numbers, week one came out, we're already at 100K. So we're looking to double this month for July, hopefully at 200, 250.
Okay. Dope.
That's a little back myself.
Dude, 100%, bro. So take us back a little bit. Obviously, you're writing good business. There's obviously a lot of agents who don't write anywhere near 100,000 on their own pen every month, but you're doing that not every month, but for the
That,
year.
would- that would be team production, but yeah.
Correct, correct. But yeah, so take us back to your first 30 days as a life insurance agent, because a lot of people that watch this,
Yeah.
bro, are getting in, like first of all, what type of leads? You don't have to say the company, but like was it aged or fresh that you were running? And then secondly, how was it? Like, did you get your teeth kicked in? Did you just come in and like dog it? Like give the
Yeah.
people some perspective about your first 30 days.
100%. So the way that I was brought into the business is probably similar to, I'd say, like 60 to 70% of people. You get promised a dream, you're going to make $10,000 profit your first month, 20,000 the next month after that. It's not true at all. So if anyone's telling you that, I would probably run as far away as possible. But that's what my mindset was coming into it. Obviously, my first, I'd say 3 months, I was given it like a part-time, kind of full-time here and there. First month, I think I IP'd like maybe 6K. The month after that, like four, then eight. And then I had to kind of look myself in the mirror, and I was working maybe 6 hours a day. I saw other people making a lot of money, and I kind of had to take the step to go full time and work those 10 to 12 hours days. After my first 3 months of writing 4 to 8K, I think my fourth month was about 17. The month after that was over 20, and then everything's been over 30. From then, I had a couple 25K IP months when I was early stages of building. But the biggest switch was actually just treating the job as a business rather than just something on the side that you're doing. That was the biggest thing for me. And I think I joined the business with my girlfriend, and we had similar numbers for the start. But that was the biggest thing for both of us, was just actually putting in the late night hours, going the extra lengths and doing the extra things to learn the script, objection handlings. I was running free leads my first couple months. I didn't have the balls to buy leads. I got too nervous to do so. I wish I would have. If I look back, I would have dumped my bank account into leads and just fell on my face over and over again. Because the cool thing with it, and Trey, you probably know too, is when you're in insurance, you have your lead spend, right? You're not going to write as much business your first couple months, right, buying leads. But the cool thing about it is your lead spend most likely going to stay the same. And then your skill is just going to get a little bit better, and you're going to close a little bit more. And that profit just keeps to adding. So the one thing I would have changed is definitely trying to get on leads quicker and working those extra hours and doing the extra trainings to get better.
That's a very different perspective because a lot of people would have said the opposite, bro. Like, I got free leads, I got free leads. Like, I don't want to buy my own. But the fact that you kind of understood that, what do you feel like that's accredited to? Like your business background, or you got that mindset from?
Yeah, I would say my pops, he's a pretty successful business owner in the garbage industry, and then just kind of an entrepreneurial mindset from my grandfather. He ran his own law firm. He wasn't profitable for his first couple of years. Same with my dad. I had a conversation with my pops about it. And he called me. He told me I was being a bitch, pretty much like straightforward. He's a straight shooter. So when I heard that, it's like, yeah, when you do look at it as a business, most businesses, there's a percentage on it. I don't know the exact, but for the first 5 years, not a lot of businesses are profitable. So that was kind of the biggest thing for me. And then also with the industry that we're in, it's pretty damn easy to be profitable.
No, it is. It is. And I think that's why a lot of people really like it. And it rewards
Yeah.
without having to like, even I think about my business too. It's like you got all this overhead, you have all these other people. It's just like it's straightforward. Like you pay for leads, maybe an admin, and
Yeah.
then an office. You know what I mean? Like it three things tops. Everything after
100%.
that is just pure take home. So I think that's why a lot of people obviously love it. Okay, so let's walk us through. Obviously, you bought another leads from other people, as basically everybody on here has, which makes
Yeah.
sense. But walk us through from when you went from free leads to paying for your own leads. What were the first leads that you bought on your own? Were they, once again, were those aged leads that you bought? Did you go straight into high intent? And did you have any struggles with that transition going from that free to age? I mean, age
So
to
started on free leads, obviously from the agency. From there, I got on some volume leads. I was paying around $5 to $7 for them. That's where I wrote within like 6 months, like 140K or something around there last year. And then I want to think, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but I think I've been working with you guys for about 2 or 3 months now, I want to
yeah,
say.
yep.
So this month, week one, I'm already at 20K. So I'm hoping to finish over 40. But the transition was really hard actually from the volume because the volume leads that I was running were the same. They were the aged free leads. The free leads were just aged
Ah,
volume that I was running. So it was the same thing. It was a pretty smooth transition actually. Tried out some other lead sources in the past, like Goat. I didn't really like it too much. I just went back to my agency's leads. And then I wanted to try high intent because I started building. I wanted to buy back my own time. So switching into high intent leads, it's a way different sell. The person knows why they're filling the ad out. Your job is to be the professional, to guide them through the process and tell them, hey, this is what you need. This is what you can afford. Here's your health. This is what you qualify for. I think the high intent lead just wants someone professional, not to sell them and to actually help them out. But I honestly like running high intent leads better because again, you know why they know why they're on the phone with you and you know exactly what your job is to do for them. So the transition to volume to high intent was definitely a little bit of a different sale, but I've definitely figured it out now and I enjoy the way that the process of the sale in high intent, it's a little bit smoother, I would say.
can you break that down for an agent that doesn't know what you mean? Because they're probably like, "What do you mean it's a different sell? It's the same lead, it's just newer."
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I think the biggest difference is honestly my intro on like how I'm approaching these sales. So like on a regular lead, like an aged one or like a volume lead, it's hey, it's Aidan from the final expense department reaching out to you in regards to the final expense coverages and life insurance options. You're kind of throwing a pitch out there. With the high intent leads, it's the same intro, but what I do differently is, hey Trey, I'm assuming that you're like most people that I speak with here that already have some form of life insurance in place. Is that correct? They give me their answer, and it's okay, gotcha, trade. When you originally submitted the request in for the life insurance, were you one looking to save money on your current rate, or two, were you just under the impression that you didn't have enough coverage in place? Which one kind of was it for you? And I'll have them right there. They'll tell me exactly what it is. On age leads, you can do that, but it's more of trying to build a why on age leads, I feel like,
Hmm.
because they
Okay.
filled the form out months ago. No one's been able to get them something in place. They were probably just shopping around. But with the high intent leads, again, you know why you're on the phone with them. So it's more of, hey, what do you have in place? What is your goal? And then kind of just assessing their situation and showing them what makes the most sense for them in their budget and what exactly they're looking to cover. If that kind of answers your question there.
No, it does. I think that's super important because I agents don't understand that and they expect that when they buy high intent leads that just means that like they don't have to work anymore, they don't have to work the leads, they don't have to call them. Everybody picks up and is like ready to give you their social and banking. And I always explain to people it's like you're buying your time back, but you're also talking to a different type of client. Like, and they, the whole looking around thing I always tell people is like it's a real thing. Think about it. Like if you're actually trying to buy a car right now, you're not going to just go to typically one dealership and buy. So they're
Yeah.
not typically going to fill out one ad. They're going to fill out a few and they are going to try to figure out, but your job is like to be the person that they can trust, right? And I think that people think that because they filled out an ad that they only filled out one ad. And I'm like, bro, that doesn't even make sense psychologically. Like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, no
Yeah,
human being
100%.
does. So, but yeah, I'm happy you were able to kind of elaborate that to them. So I want you to take the next, bro, however long you take. Honestly, you could take 30 minutes. I don't care. I'm sure you're familiar with the process of the psychology of a sale, but I want to know what's Aiden's psychology of the
Yeah.
sale. And you don't have to go through like the exact wordplay unless you want to. I
Yeah.
want you to go through like intro. How do you build value? What questions do you ask in the why? Any tips and tricks?
Yeah.
Just basically go through your whole psychology of the sale, bro. I'm gonna let you take the floor and kind of give
Yeah.
people a master class on the working veteran. And he works veteran leads too, by the way,
He's
for
better.
content. But go ahead.
So intro again, like I just went over it. Biggest question there is you want to get the objection of I have coverage out of there. You don't want them to tell you that. You want to ask them. So that's why I asked the question. Hey, I'm assuming you're like most people that already have coverage in place, correct? And I'll say correct because I want them to say yes. If they say no, then it's an absolute laydown, and then you just go back into beneficiary. But if it's, and if we're being honest, Trey, as you know, it's probably 70% of the time it's going to be a yes there. So it's your next question is, hey, were you looking to save money on your current rate or were you looking to add on coverage? What I've found out 60% of the time it's going to be add on coverage because not a lot of people want to mess with their current policies. And as an agent myself, I don't want to mess with perfectly fine policies either. I know there's a lot of people out there that like to, but that's besides the point. I get that answer. They tell me if they want to save money or if they want to add on coverage. Again, 60%, 70% of the time, it's going to be adding on coverage. Then from there, obviously with the leads, with lead labs, you have the beneficiary. Okay, gotcha, Trey. It looks like you listed down your daughter, Susie, as your beneficiary. Is that correct? Gotcha. Now, like you said, we're just looking to add on coverage. Is there something specific that had you looking to get additional life insurance coverage on top of what you already have? Would that be like a big mortgage payment, car payments, or was there a death in the family that made you think you were under the impression you didn't have enough coverage? From there, it honestly is a lot of under the impressions of not having enough coverage. So my next question from there is going to be, okay, gotcha, John. So kind of under the impression you don't have enough coverage in place. And how much were you currently covered for? A lot of these people are going to be under 20,000 in coverage, I would say, unless they have a term. Term, it's a different route from there. I'll kind of touch on that in a little bit, but let's say they have $25,000 in coverage. Okay, gotcha, John. So obviously, I'm assuming you're leaning towards a burial. Is that right? Yep, that's right. Okay. Are you aware of how much that typically costs you nowadays? No? Okay. It's anywhere between 10 and 20,000. So you're definitely a little bit underinsured. We just want to make sure we're leaving a little bit of funds behind for your daughter, just in case there is any other expenses that popped up, right?
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. And then also another thing you can do there, if they have coverage, they don't want to use it for the burial. My question there is, let's say he has $20,000 in coverage. Okay, gotcha, John. So we just want to make sure that $20,000 in coverage, that goes straight out to Susie. And then you want to have something specifically in place to cover the funeral expenses. That way she doesn't have to pull from that other policy or pull from your savings. Is that right? And I'm sounding exactly how I am right now on the phone. I'm long verbal pauses, talking very slow. I really want them to think that I'm not reading a script and I'm literally just talking and having a conversation with them because if you're reading a script, especially on high intent leads, they're going to hang up on you. From there, after you build the why, I'll go over a little bit of term as well. It's kind of the same way I just handled that. Okay, gotcha, John. So obviously you want something permanent. The term's going to expire on you. We both know that, right, John? Yep, I'm aware of that. Okay. And then, John, are you also aware of how many term life policies actually pay out percentage wise? No, I'm not. Okay. Well, John, if you actually go ahead and you can fact check me on this, less than 3% of term life policies actually pay out. Does that make sense? And I'll go dead quiet.
Why do you
Don't,
do that? I know why you do that, but for the agents that I
yeah.
don't want them to skip over that. But can you
Yeah.
explain, bro? Give us an explanation on why you actually say that.
So the biggest reason I say that is because when they're filling these ads out, they're looking for a definite payout to their wife, right? And then the other way I explain it is, hey, you're giving yourself a 3% chance of your wife receiving that money. And I'll go dead quiet. I had a guy yesterday I sold. That was the whole point of it. We got the packages. I go, okay. He's like, I have $150,000 in term. I go, yeah, John, that's great that you have that. That mainly term is for your working years. Essentially, you're giving yourself a 3% chance of your wife actually receiving any money after your passing. Because I assume you don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon, right? No, I don't. Okay, gotcha. So that's why we're looking at definite payouts for her. I know it is a little bit less coverage. The reason being, John, is because these insurance companies, they show you that big $150,000 coverage. They know in the back of their head there's only a 3% chance that they have to give you that money. Now, the reason they're not going to give you as much coverage on a whole life, John, is And again, you can fact check me. It's a guaranteed payout to your wife. They know for a fact that they're going to have to pay this money out to you. And John, these insurance companies, they're billion-dollar companies. They make their money on term. They don't make their money on whole life whatsoever. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
That's
But
gambling.
the real reason I'm explaining it to them like that is when you tell someone, hey, your wife has a 3% chance of receiving that $500,000 in coverage, you're gambling. You're better off throwing like $150,000 on a blackjack hand. Like, if we're being honest, like that's kind of my look at it. And if you explain it in the correct way like that, you'll get these guys literally dropping their coverage to a whole life because they know, hey, I'm 70 years old. I'm probably going to outlive this term. Yes, it's not going to be as much coverage, but I know my wife's going to get this money, and that's my biggest concern today is to get her paid. And if they want to keep the term, but supplement some whole life in, and you can explain it like that. Okay, perfect, John. If we want to keep that 3% chance of payout, we can perfectly fine. We'll keep it right there. If you're comfortable with that on a monthly basis, that's fine. But we need to make sure that your wife is getting something guaranteed to her after your passing for the funeral expenses at least. Does that make sense? Gotcha. And then I'm right into it. So that's kind of like intro objections that you're going to get. Then my process of the sale, I'm asking them their income, how much are you bringing in per month? Most people we work with are on fixed incomes. I'm assuming you're the same way, right? Right. The reason I asked that question is to get a price objection out of the way. So they tell me, yeah, I'm on Social Security. Okay, gotcha. Most families we work with are on Social Security, so typically affordability isn't too much of an issue for us. How much are you bringing in per month? They tell me, okay, gotcha. And then did you have a comfortable amount that you were budgeting for that we want to keep this premium under? Is that under 200, under 150? I go quiet, I let them answer. And then right there, you know how to build your packages out. From there, health questions. And also the biggest thing I want to touch on was specifically high intent leads is you have to build urgency. You have to, because they're going to give you a package rejection if you don't. Health questions is where you build urgency. Trey, do you have diabetes?
No,
No? Okay. Gotcha. Any cancers that you dealt with in the past?
no, super healthy.
Super healthy. Okay. Gotcha. And then within the last 5 years, has there been anything major pop up as far as your health goes that you're a little bit worried about that doctors have mentioned to you?
Yeah, they said something about like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like I had a tough time breathing and some family history, something like that. But
Gotcha.
outside that, no, they didn't actually diagnose me with anything.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I'm a straight shooter, and that's kind of the way that I like to do my business. I want to be fully transparent with you for you. That sounds like a early diagnosis of COPD. And if you go back to the doctors in a couple months and they give you that diagnosis, it's going to be pretty damn hard to get you approved here. Let me see what I can do for you. Okay. Are you on an inhaler or anything like that?
Yeah, I had asthma as a kid growing up, and I don't really use my inhaler like that anymore, but
Yeah.
I did have one at one
Okay.
point.
I hear you. I had someone on the phone with me yesterday, same situation, but they actually ended up getting pretty hard to get approved there. And they said the same thing. You don't use the inhaler though, right?
No, 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 not anymore.
Gotcha. I wish it was the case, but they are going to see that in your MIB report. Okay. That I'm literally doing that to them, and that right there is going to build them urgency. I'm doing that with any medication. I don't care if it's high blood pressure medication. Oh gosh. And has there been discussion on putting you on any other medications, or you're just sticking with that one there? And the answer, it's gotcha. We'll see what we can do for you. After I ask all the health questions, I think this is probably the biggest part of avoiding objections for social. So I literally, and my biggest thing is you're essentially want to hold their hand through the whole process. You're the professional. Look at yourself as a doctor. In a doctor's office, you go to the doctor's office. Doctor's talking, you shut up and you listen. You probably say 10% of the conversation when the doctor comes into the office with you. It should be the same thing after you get through health questions and kind of build rapport on beneficiary. So from this point, I have the stage, and there's a book called Psychology of Sales, and they talk about putting the spotlight on somebody. So in the beginning, the client should have the spotlight. They should tell you why they're looking into it. You're just sitting there asking the questions. After health questions is when you get the spotlight. So right after health questions, okay, gotcha. So before we do move into the packages here, I am going to explain how the process is going to work. Obviously, it's not like going to the local grocery store where we see it, we like it, we buy it, Trey. We do need to get you medically approved. Now, what the carriers are going to take a look at here is what's called the Medical Information Bureau. That's going to be an MIB report, which is tied to your social. That's going to be a collection of your medical records, hospitalizations, and also your prescriptions over the last few years. Obviously, Trey, it's not going to be up to me to give you the approval. It is strictly going to be up to the carriers. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. And then from there, I'm going to send over a credential card to them. to validate that. But the biggest thing there is your tonality. I could have sped through that. It's not like going down to the grocery store, going to MIB report, social. They didn't hear anything you just said. You have to slow your talking down there. Verbal pauses are the biggest thing. Make sure that they're actively listening to you. And then I'm going through my packages. I'll pitch it. If I get an objection there, I'll go over a couple of objections. So I got to talk to my wife. It's going to be the biggest one. Okay, gotcha. And when you do go talk to your wife, is it kind of which option to go with, or if you even need this? Because I know you did mention that Susie can't afford the burial expense. Is that right? They're going to say, yeah, that's right. Okay, gotcha. So with that being said, then it would kind of just come down to which option to go with then. Is that correct? Again, I'm doing verbal pauses there because you have to make them think you're not reading a script and you actually care. Yep, obviously it's which option to go with. Okay. Gotcha. And John, do you mind if I make you a recommendation here? No, go ahead. Okay. Gotcha. So John, what I would recommend, and I recommended this to anyone, rich, poor, middle class, is always starting with the lowest option. Main reason, John, that's going to do two things for you. One, it's going to get you fully approved. And two, it's going to make sure if something were to happen to you tomorrow, there would be something in place for your wife there. Okay. And what it's also going to do for you, John, is it's going to allow you to go speak with your wife, figure out if you want to move up from here, move down from here, whatever that may be. But the main goal today is to get something in place to cover the final expenses. Is that correct? They're going to say correct. And then when you walk them down like that, I literally give them the option. Okay, John, and with that kind of being said, I mean, I would assume that it probably makes the most sense to just start with the bronze option then. Is that right? And I'll stutter there. And they're like, you're dumb if you say no there. I would say 80% of the time, if you navigate a package objection like that, they're going to say yes because they feel dumb to say no. You just told them what they're going to do. You're going to start with the lowest because you know that that's comfortable because you got their budget 10 minutes ago asking them what's a comfortable range. My lowest option is going to be their absolute lowest. So if it's 100 to 150, my lowest option is going to be 100. My gold is going to be 150, and then silver is going to be something in the middle. I know he can afford that, so it's not going to be a price objection. The only objections you're going to get there is I need to think about it or my wife. And then if you break it down like that to them and make it make sense, because again, you are the professional, a wife objection and I need to think about an objection. What they're saying there is they're asking you for what you think they should do. If you're professional through the whole script and you get a budget for them, you go through their health questions, you build them urgency, and then you explain exactly how the process is going to work with the MIB report. If you get an objection about needing to think about it, they're really just asking you, hey, what should I do here?
That's a
And
wonderful frame, bro.
yeah.
I never heard anybody break it down like that. Like, because as you were talking, I'm like, damn, you can keep going, but that makes a lot of
Oh
sense, bro.
yeah, but that's the biggest thing. I think package objections. If you I mean the sale isn't made at the packages. It's made way before on the beneficiary and the budget. The biggest thing's the budget because you don't want to show them something they can't afford. Like even if you have one option that's out of their budget, they're gonna freak out and say no and get off the phone. So I think the biggest thing with high intent leads is you have to show them something in their budget. I don't show them anything over their budget ever because they told me they can afford it. I don't want to charge back. And I want to make sure that they're covered as well. So it has to be affordable for them. And then going through social, again, if you're keeping a professional tone and you're being a professional and you send them your credentials and you already told them before you went through packages, hey, the MIB report, I'll kind of go through my last portion. So they pick a package, they pick bronze. Okay, gotcha. What we're going to do, we'll send in a request. I'm going to confirm some information with you. We'll list down a payment method and choose the best effective date for you. Does that make sense? As you can see there, again, I told them, hey, we're going to list down a payment method. You're getting ahead of that objection. They should not be surprised when you get there. I'll confirm first, last name, all that stuff. And then the way I like to approach social is, okay, and then what's going to be the best mailing address to mail this out to your home in hard copy form? Okay, perfect. And what's going to be the best email address for you? Okay, John, and I give everybody the option here. Would you want to receive a paper policy packet or an email copy? Paper. Okay, and were you born in the state of California or were you born elsewhere? Born elsewhere. Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm going to take a wild guess here, just judging off the fact that you were born in Massachusetts, living out in California. I mean, I'll go off on a limb here, John, and I would assume you are a U.S. citizen, right? And they always laugh at that, right? And you're social. So I'll do that again. John, being born out in Massachusetts, living out in California, I would assume that makes you a U.S. citizen. Is that right? And you're social. If I get an objection there, do not ever overcomplicate social objection. They are literally just asking to be comforted. So I have to give you that? Yes. Why do you need that? It's for the medical report. I don't feel comfortable giving that out. It's for the medical report. I'll go 2 rounds of it's for the medical report. It's for the medical report. I'll go dead silent. The same guy sold yesterday with a 150K term. He gave me a social objection. I think the line went silent for about 10 seconds. I didn't say a word. You can't say a word there. The first one to speak there loses. It's for the medical report. They give you 3 objections there. And then I'm going, like I said before, John, it's for the medical report. The other main reason there, have you ever seen a death certificate? No, yes, whatever it may be. Gotcha. And as you saw on there, it's going to be the first and last name, the full social security number, and also the cause of death. So God forbid when you pass away, what your wife is going to do, she's going to take that death certificate, she's going to give it to the insurance company, they're going to match up your social with it, and that's how she receives the money. Does that make sense? Yes. Go ahead and confirm your social. But I don't overcomplicate social objections. If you're professional through the whole script, you're going to be fine. You shouldn't get an objection there. And if you do, it's again them just asking for validation. Do you need the full thing? Yes. Can I give you the last 4? No. I'm not saying anything else, but yes and no. And then it's for the medical report. Banking objections, you shouldn't get banking objections. Honestly, it's going to be, it's coming down to a trust issue at that point. That's going to be you not being professional through pitching your packages, asking health questions. You're getting a little too comfortable with the client. You became their friend. Right, if I asked you for your social right now, are you giving me it?
100%.
You said yeah. Oh, not your social, your banking information, right?
No.
Yeah, you're not going to give your friend your banking information. You would give, let's see, you would give the doctor to pay you. You'd probably pay your medical bill, right?
Yeah.
You'd pay your insurance bill for your car insurance. Same thing, but you have to be professional. Like when you
Right.
set up your car insurance, you're probably talking to an agent that made it seem very professional. Same thing with health insurance, life insurance. Yes, it is kind of like it's an emotional sale, and some of the guys you'll get on the phone with, they want to like goof around, but like at the end of the day, like this is a serious topic, John. You don't have coverage in place. If you die, your wife's in debt. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we trying to talk about what you did for work? Or like, I think you need to keep them on a very professional, regimented process, the whole sale. If you're getting a bank objection, it's trust. And that's the biggest thing. And I think when you're too friendly with some of these guys, I've had it in the past when I first started, it's like, yeah, I love you so much, this and that, but I just can't give that out. It's because they don't trust me. But fast forward a year, I don't really show that much emotion on the phones, and I'm taking it very professional with them. And I get to banking, if I get their social, I handle an objection there. Again, that's just asking them for me to validate myself. It's for the medical report. I'm not going to give them no BS there. I'm not going to go on some big tangent about why I need it. When you get to banking after you handle an objection like that, which stone cold, you're probably not going to get a banking objection. Best one I like to do is if you do get a banking objection, keep in mind there's people out there that just won't ever give it out. Had one of those this week. You ever had someone come out to your house and do some work on your home? Yeah, I have. Okay. You probably paid for it with a check 1 or 2 times, right? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So John, on the bottom of your checkbook there, it's going to be your routing number, which already auto-populates on my side. If you're looking at it right now, it should start with 2560. And then also after that routing number ends with 28, your account number starts. So that plumber, did he ever steal any money from your account? No, he didn't. Yeah, that's right, John. So this is an electronic deposit. As I showed you, the premium was the 67.27 cents. So once we put this on file, that is the only premium that's going to draft, nothing higher, nothing lower. And if it is higher, John, I will be putting myself in jail. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, go ahead and confirm the account number. That's my biggest thing. And then some people are like, am I approved yet? Me personally, I don't tell them they're approved until I have banking. The reason being is because a lot of these people like to lie on their health complications. So I don't want to tell them the price they can't qualify for. I'm going to find out in a couple minutes. Like from running like an Americo app, obviously you get the approval before that and they'll let them know if they get select one. But handling bank objections, again, it's more of a trust issue there, or you didn't build a big enough why. That's going to be the other thing is like, why am I buying this again? Well, no, I drilled it in like,
Yeah.
I actually do want to touch on one more thing and then on the script, then I'll be all good. So building the why, you need 3 verbal confirmations of yes. So John, is your wife in the financial position to cover an expense like this between 10 and 15,000, or is that why you're looking at it? Well, that's why I'm looking at it. So there's one why. Okay, gotcha, John. And God forbid if you didn't have something in place, how is she going to go about covering that? Take a loan out, maybe ask family for help. Oh, ask family for help. That's another why. Okay, gotcha, John. And just to make sure that we're on the same page here today, our goal is to get something in place to cover the final expenses and also maybe leave a little bit of money behind for your wife. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. So that's three. I don't really like moving unless I have three. If you're building it off of, is she in a financial position? No, and you move on. That's not a why, and you're going to get a banking objection. But that's kind of my process of my sale. The biggest thing is tonality and professionalism too. These guys want to be able to trust someone. They want to know that their wife's in a good point. When they die, they can call me and I'll be able to help her get her money. So that's kind of my process.
Yeah, dude, 100%. First of all, thank you for going through that, bro. That was graceful. The takeaway from the whole thing was really just the frame of the objection. And in the reality of the situation, I was like literally sitting here. I'm like, when I sold, that was the only two objections I got, which was I need to think about it or talk to my wife, which are essentially the same exact thing. And it's really just that they don't know what decision to make. That's why they want to go talk to somebody else, is because they're like, well, what
Yeah.
decision should we make? And then you just hold their hand. I think it's interesting too, side note, now, like me personally doing like the business side, because I didn't do that beforehand, realizing like, dude, it's 80 or $100 a month. Like that's not a lot of money. But I
Yeah.
think when you know like I can speak for myself, and I know agents struggle with this sometimes. They know the premium in their head. So they think like, oh, it's $1,200, it's $2,000 that I'm gonna make. You kind of make it bigger than it is. But
Yeah.
your tonality, even everything you just went through, was so methodical, and you really were just like so detached. You're willing to walk away. You're kind of like you're not overcomplicating anything, because the reality is it's $80, right? And I
Yeah.
think
That's the
agents
biggest thing.
struggle with that, bro. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you through that.
No, 100%.
I know we're getting close to time, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do want to transition a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with us here at Lead Lab? Because there's a lot of agents that watch this that they've never worked with us, and they're
Mhm.
kind of like on the edge. They're watching these videos, they're trying to get an idea. So if you could like just hop in from your perspective of like your experience thus far, the team, like kind of the environment, the chat, you can just talk to them a little bit about like what it's like to, have us as a company or you guys are partnered up with.
100%. The biggest thing I like about it is the direct contact to you, Austin, whoever it may be. If I have an issue, hit Faith, hey, this lead, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll get it replaced for you. That's awesome. The other thing is my team was able to scale from, like I said before, I think 3 months ago we did 105, then it was 110, then last month it was 126 or 129. Week one, fast forward, that was when I was on Lead Labs for consistently. My girlfriend, who we run the agency together with, was on. I think I had two of my other agents on it, and then she had one or two agents on them as well. Week one, we cracked 100K. So we're probably going to do 200. I would hope maybe 250 for July numbers. A lot of that production was from Lead Labs. I think myself, it's in the chat and the Discord. I think I was close to 40K submitted. Just your guys' leads. I was mixing in a couple. Maybe it was 30, 35, but I was mixing in some other volume leads that I had. But the biggest thing is them getting on the phone and knowing what it's about. You're selling insurance, right? I mean, there's a bunch of other lead companies out there that the marketing isn't exact, I would say. You're kind of beating around the bush. My biggest thing is I like to talk to people that want to buy insurance. So that's the biggest thing. And then also, again, I think it's the transparency. That's the biggest thing I take away, because I have worked with other lead companies and I never had a direct contact to someone. So it's like, yo, if my leads are coming in slow, it's like, who do I reach out to? Right? Like what do I do? I just spent $2,000 and I'm like, where are my leads at? I just have to wait. Like it's having that direct contact. Hey, it's Monday. I need my leads now. Okay, we're on it, and then they're going to start dripping in. I think that's the biggest takeaway, especially if someone watching this is like trying to scale a newer team. They have a couple of new downlines coming in, or even if you're obviously just trying to scale your own personal production, of course. But I think for me personally, the biggest takeaway was simply just being able to buy my own time back, introducing it to my agents, and then it helped us produce a little bit of a higher level with higher premium too. That was kind of the bigger thing as well, was the bigger deal size.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. And I appreciate you elaborating. One other thing, too, for those that are watching, you probably didn't see the other episodes, but one of the things that we're actually going to do for a few minutes afterwards is we have like strategy sessions. So I always tell people, obviously, on this, we want to talk about like the good, the bad, the ugly. So I'll give you guys some context and then we can wrap up the call. So essentially, what we're going to do after the call is go through and audit where he's made his sales. so we can then further optimize the ads in general, but also so he can have some context on who's actually being closed because we do track all that data on the back end. But like they don't see it, right? Meaning like you as agents don't necessarily know. And it's a good conversation. We did it with his girl the other day, and we were able to make some adjustments, kind of talk through some things and help them. Because we always tell people like, yeah, he's right in business, his team is growing, but I don't ever want people to think that like we're perfect because we're not. You know what I mean? And but the transparency thing that he touched on, that's what I think is super huge because for us to have the relationships we've had for 4 years with the same agents, it's simply not because we're like special. A lead is still a lead. Aiden's already explained that. It's the fact of like who's the company that you're working with. And like if something is going wrong, can you have somebody to contact? Can they actually make adjustments? Or are they just gonna say like, nah, screw you, basically? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so our goal is to like keep these relationships going, have conversations and be able to put people in the best position. Last thing, bro, is there anything that I haven't asked that you think I should have asked or any
Yeah,
other
I want
ideas?
to add on to what you just said there with marketing, lead gen, whatever it is, for new guys like looking to hop on any type of lead at that, not even just lead labs, is you won't know what a lead does until you do 4 weeks straight of it. And if you keep hopping from one lead to one lead to one lead, you're going to fail out of business in 2 months. I've seen it happen. I saw myself going down that path. I did like 2 or 3 weeks. I wasn't doing the same thing. It doesn't work. You're not going to find the new best thing. You won't. It's being consistent with one thing because advertising is just like this. Everything's always changing. It's the same thing with any type of business. Everything is always changing, and then that's why you have people like Trey that are adapting to those things when they change. The whole marketing game is up and down. So if you're going to be jumping from one lead to one lead to one lead, you're just going to go down. It's just very straightforward. You're not going to find the new best thing. No one is. That's
Nah,
I just wanted to add on to that for you.
no. I appreciate you for saying that because we always try to preach like the same exact thing. At the end of the day, our job is to be transparent and tell you the situation and then like try to work with you to solve it. And we're not here to make money with you one time. We're here to for both of us can make money together. Like you're buying leads, so we make money, but you're making money too.
Yeah.
So it's in both of our best interests to be, communicate and put each other in the best position so that way we can have a long-standing relationship because you don't want to have to hop from vendor to vendor and I don't want to have to go find 10 more Aidens. You know what I mean? So it's like both of us can win here, brother. So yeah, bro, I appreciate you for hopping on today. For anybody that does want to reach out to Aiden, potentially work with them, just get in contact with whoever sent you the video, or if you're watching us on YouTube, just go to the website and I'm sure you can, reach out to one of us and we'll ask him. He'll probably be more than happy to either welcome you on his team or just have a conversation with you. So I appreciate you
100%.
for hopping on, and everybody else, thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate having me.
All right, bet, bro. Okay, so new lead order 717. Gotcha. Now, did you manually move these sold ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, damn, you got three back to back. I was gonna say, golly. All right, Jerry. This is so funny, bro. I already see the difference already. I looked up my list.
You do? I'm not gonna lie. I told Austin this, and it's like nothing. Like I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
it's interesting. The reason I'm saying that is because I've seen three closes from this last pack. You're closing on ads that Marissa was not closing on.
Really.
I swear to goodness. I swear to goodness, it's a ad with this lady named Monique. We went through her sheet and I went through her closes first, and then I went through all of her non-closes. And I was like, bro, this the same one that you're not. Let me just see if it's consistent. That was the first three. You had two of the same ad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
but
another thing is I texted Faith and Austin about this. If you like look at like the reason for insurance, like I have some people saying like never reach out, only text, and then like just looking, like I
yeah,
don't know.
I can look at those ones too. I'm gonna go through the sales first, but then I'll
No,
look
you're
at
good.
the no sales too. So Jason, okay, that's a good one. This video crushes, bro. This video's cooking, bro. It's almost like all the Jenny. You're closing all Jennies. Yeah, Dante got pissed at me because I told Marissa not to buy any leads for a few days. He texts me like, bro, why you tell people not to buy? I'm like, bro, she got all these leads that she has not worked. Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep your people profitable, bro. I ain't
yeah,
like, I love the fact that y'all are trying to buy leads, but I'm not greedy, bro. Like, we trying to
yeah.
make money, bro. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah, you're closing off that now. So I'm gonna go look at the no closes. So you have basically all the same ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
but like
Interesting, bro.
with the way that I'm closing, it's just my biggest thing is if I'm gonna spend because I want to be able to spend 2 to 3K on leads. Like, I'm trying to have a 60, 70K month, but if I'm only getting like 6 deals out of there, like it just doesn't make sense for me, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand. Let me see, Turk. You're in the same position. Yeah, you're starting to get in the same position that she was in. And I figured that was going to happen because of when you guys are buying.
When should we, what do you mean? Like the day that the week that we're buying?
No, 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 just the timing. Because, like, on our end, I think you guys are buying, it's not a bad thing, but you're buying more leads before your order is like, for example, y'all will sometimes have like 20 leads left and then buy another like 30. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's what I was telling Marissa. I was like, low key, let your leads go. And the reason I'm saying that is like, if you look at your sheet, if you go and look at your sheet, you have, obviously, we got a lot of these like DQs in here. But then if you just look at your sheet over time, the amount of people that you've spoken to has decreased. Now I know you're still working now. Obviously, I'm not saying you're not working then, but I'm saying because you get more leads, you have more people to work, and then you have less time to work the total sum of them. So what the first thing I would do, bro, before we order any more leads, and we'll make the adjustments to the ads. I'm not worried about that. The first step I would do is take all the reds out of the sheet and put them on a different sheet. Take
Yeah.
all the greens and put them on a different sheet. Like, so just make two separate tabs, but not sheet, I'm sorry. Two
Yeah.
separate tabs. Take all the people you haven't contacted, work that list, and I guess make that the fourth sheet because it's obviously automated on the
That's
first
right.
sheet. So just leave the first sheet the way it is, move all the reds, move all the greens, and then keep all the whites on there. And then what I would do is let your lead order get all the way down to like five because you're on priority, bro. Like if when you turn it on, we're gonna turn. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I would wait till you get down to like five and then reorder and then start stacking that way. Because what also hurt you, what hurt me, bro. I lost like bro, between you and I, bro. I lost like 40K in 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, bro. When
No.
that on the fourth, when that thing happened with all those duplicates, it said that's what cooked everybody, bro. It put everybody back
I
because
was gonna say
we had to.
that's because if you go back in my list, I think it was the 7-3 is when that shit happened.
Yeah,
But
dude. Yeah,
yeah,
you guys got hurt the most because y'all were like I said, you guys were placing orders ahead of the orders being finished, and then we ran into duplication. So we filled the order, but your order, well, we got close to filling the order, but y'all kept ordering. So you're kind of like, dude, I don't know, bro, you got a lot of leads left before you got to reorder. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go look, but I'm almost positive you're like almost a week. You're like almost a pack, if not a pack and a half ahead.
yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah, you don't
No,
have
it
to
makes
like so what I would do, plan of action is obviously move the leads. That's easy. Then from there, just continue to work the ones you have. They're gonna keep dripping, bro. Bro, I think you might have like 40 or 50 some leads left, bro, on this order right now.
yeah, I think
I
around
would
there.
let that get down
Yeah.
into like five, and then you'll finally be reset. Then I would start ordering, and then we can start stacking. Because right now, you're not gonna get your like order filled any faster ordering more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like
Percent.
you're kind of like I hate to say it like you're kind of like digging yourself in a hole almost because you're like getting close to getting filled and then you're ordering and then you're getting close to getting filled you're ordering because when we had the duplicates we had to replace all the leads and you were still ahead. You see what I'm saying? So like now you got overflow of leads coming in plus the ones you ordered, so you're putting out mad cheese, but you haven't had the time to like make it back, exhaust all the leads, do everything. So I would just kind of throw them all in there, do what you do, keep ripping that list, dude. You're gonna keep getting the drip, and then when you get closer to the end, I'd say like five leads. You could just ask Mac or Faith to be like, "Yo, when I get to five leads, let me know so I can order some more." And then get down there, and then we can order,
Yeah.
and then we can start getting you 60 packs because now we can fill it. Because you're getting a lot of leads, bro, in a week, but you don't feel like you're ever gonna fill it because, bro, I honestly think you might have like 70 leads, bro, that still have to be delivered. So when you order, you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just stacking it up, bro. So you're never gonna feel like, yo, I want to spend three
Yeah,
grand a
my
week.
thing is just like, yeah. I'm trying to think like that's used lead labs, like what's the most they've ever written? The top
Marcos.
guy that's ever ran lead. I'm
Off
right.
vets, he wrote 100K in May.
Yeah, I think yeah, cut. Maybe it's me. Wait, hold
Can you
on.
hear? Can you hear me?
Let me connect my hotspot. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? All right. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
All right, cool. What were you saying now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's wrote the most on vets? That's ran lead lab.
Marcos,
How much are you write?
100K,
100K. How much are you spending?
like 3 to 3.5, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a week.
Okay. How long ago was that?
May, this past May.
Okay. And he's waiting for his lead orders to fill?
No, 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 no. He's not. What made you say that?
No, because that's what you're saying for me to do, right?
I was saying for you to do that because you're behind because of the outage because you're buying
Okay.
so many. So you're getting. I have to go check out how many leads you're getting, but you're getting a lot of leads filled in a week. But the problem is you're always spending like think about it like this. Let's say you're getting 50 leads in a week. You're buying like 90 though. So
Yeah.
your 50 lead pack is getting delivered, but you're not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
no, that I think that's the issue is everything rolls over to next week.
exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's the same thing I was telling Marissa. Like, y'all just need to let this order go to like five, and then then you can start stacking it. Because right now you're getting a ton of leads, but it doesn't feel like that because you keep ordering. So you're like, dude, I'm spending way more. It's like, yeah, you're almost like a full payment ahead. So you're spending whatever. Let's say you're spending 2 grand a week, bro. You're really spending like 3.4, but you're not getting that order filled because you're not buying 3.4 worth of leads. Does that make sense? Because you're still behind.
Kind of, yeah. So if I were to do 3 bands a week on leads, like how would that look? Or like, let's just say I wanted to do like 10
Yeah,
bands
if
for
you
the
want yeah, if you do 3 bands a week, because you guys are at 30, yeah, so you'd be in 100 leads a week.
and
So
those
you
would
need
all get filled within the week though?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out, I want to write 60K, but I just need like it just needs to be consistent. It's just been like not consistent recently, I feel like.
Okay.
The lead quality, I guess. They all think it's the VA. I'm looking for VA. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't, I'm not gonna pose as the VA. That's the biggest thing. They all think, everyone I talk to thinks it's the VA. And then also I get a lot of widows on my vets, and I know that you guys do that, but the widows are like, oh, it says I qualify for benefits, I qualify. I'm like, that's not really like an insurance objection, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can get them to change a few things as far as that's concerned. And then that's what I noticed too with the ads that you have been closing. So yeah, I get them to change a few things on the ads for you, bro.
Yeah.
That's the big. But as far as the flow goes itself, I would say let the lead order run down and then start fresh because you're still not like you're backed up basically, bro. Like you're ordering, it's crazy to see. You're like ordering too soon. Because if you get 50 leads in a week, you're ordering another 20, but you're not getting them filled quicker because you're not ordering 100. Like if you put an order in for 100 in our system, you get 100 leads filled. Does that make sense? You're ordering like 40 pack, so you're getting all 40, but then you're ordering again before the 40 gets filled, and then you're getting like 60, but you're not actually getting 60 because that's a 20 pack. It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that.
So just wait till again, like you said, around like five left and then send another order in.
Exactly. Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. And then you can start actually tracking and game planning. Like this is how many leads I have. In the meantime, what I would do is take because you still have a ton of leads in here, like even on this current order that you haven't spoken to directly. And if you look back at all these other ones, if you scroll up, and this is the same thing I was telling Marissa, a lot of the biggest difference that happens is that you were just speaking to a significantly more people previously.
Yeah.
So if you even look at even if it's no's, you were having a lot more conversations beforehand, but now you have so many leads that some of these people, and obviously I'm sure you're like going through the list, but some of these people you've never talked to, like there's big gaps in here where there's like 10 numbers
That's
that,
that's the other thing too, is like you know how we work. Like I'm calling these motherfuckers 15 times, 20, 30 times a week.
right.
I'm calling them off like three, 4 or 5 times a day. Like this whole list.
Are you, yeah, no, no, no. That's the thing though, which I understand. So you're calling through the entire list though, correct?
No, no, no. I go like for today example, I'll use this like one of these orders basically. I'll dial them 3 times throughout the day. Not the whole list at all.
So you're saying you'll dial from Fahim so to Patsy, correct?
Yep, once I do that a couple times, then I'll go to last week's order and hit these. But like these ones up here, like again, not a lot of them are picking the phone up, and I'm hitting them
Yeah.
on the
So
phone. And
no,
I've
no, no.
got FaceTime audio. I got 3 different phone numbers. I call it on my personal line for the Google Voices, and I call it on my other work phone to get through. I mean, that's the issue I'm running into.
No, understood.
Yeah,
Yeah. What I would say is I would take these, move those,
yeah, yeah.
keep that, let this order just fill and then reset and then start fresh with whatever you're going to order every week. And then we'll just set it to deliver that. Because right now it's set to deliver whatever the most previous order was. So if you ordered 50 vets, it's set to deliver 50 vets. If you order
Yeah,
100, it's set to deliver 100.
that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? And when you were on track to get yours delivered, when we ran into that issue, it pushed everybody back on delivery. So we're like playing catch up and you're stacking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's a lot of the reason why you like feel that sense of urgency, which I totally understand. As far as the quality, I got that. We're gonna take care of that. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not
But
worried about
I'm more or less making sure that like you're like I said, the profitability is there and you're not just like buying more leads when like you got a ton of leads left.
That's
Because
my
I'm not
thing too, is the profitability. I mean, with me, like the way that my team's scaling, like I'm going to be profitable regardless, but I also want to be profitable on my own production as well. I mean, that's just a no-brainer, obviously. But I also want to be comfortable getting my agents on these. I
right.
have a couple guys on them right now, but yeah, I mean, they're kind of dealing. I mean, what fucking sucked is one of them, well, I think two of them actually hopped on that same week all the duplicate shit happened. So that was kind of cooked, but again, we're not tripping. I mean, we know we're gonna figure it out. I mean, that's exactly what we talked about, like in the interview. Is like this is why we're working with you guys because we are flexible and we can talk through these things.
Of
But
course.
I want to make it profitable for my guys. I
Well,
want
I
to
also
get the
got
same quality.
so we are rolling out. It'll be live today, by the way, bro. So we are rolling out age text verify age leads starting today, bro.
Let me place an order.
Yeah, dude, I got you. I literally got you. They're fire, bro. So just so you're clear, and you can relay this to everybody at the office, just to let them know, because we'll be putting a message in the group message, but I'll just tell you first. So the way it's worked before, bro, is all of our leads were a mixture between our text verified leads, and then we have like other leads that aren't text verified, right? That's how we've been doing it basically since the beginning of, well, really for the entirety that I've ever sold age leads.
Yeah.
Now we have enough inventory to take out all those other ones and only sell the previously high intent leads. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we're doing now, bro, is we have it 30 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 plus. So we're going to bring the dollar leads back, right? And we are offering replacements too. So there are going to be the 180 plus leads are getting re-verified again, right? So whether they're actually legitimate working numbers, if they're not, we'll just replace them. And then the other 30 to 90, 90 to 60 will be essentially the same thing. So that's going to be essentially what we're rolling out, bro. Just so you
That's
have it.
because goat age is like they're going downhill. I don't know if you've heard.
No, I haven't.
I don't know. Their quality on them is like Marissa's been running them for like a year and a half now, and she even's like, yeah, the quality on these aged ones are like not there anymore, how they used to be.
Yeah.
Like half your sheets disconnected, basically.
Yeah, nah, yeah. We're replacing those bad boys. So you can
Yeah.
start letting people know, bro. It should be finalized. I'm literally waiting for Claude to finish.
Wait, what's the price breakdown? So 181 is $1.
180, 180 plus is a dollar. Let me just pull it up here real quick, bro.
It's like a 1, 2, 4, 7.
It's 157, I think, if I'm not
One.
mistaken. I
So
think it's 157. 30 to 90. And then the minimums are 50 minimum. I mean, I don't care. We work with you guys, so it don't matter to me. But on the website, the minimum is 50 for the normal, the 30 to 90. I think it's 50 for the 90 to 180, and then it's 100 for the 180 plus.
157. Okay.
Correct. Those are for the vets. And then we got the IULs, the final expense, etc.
Yeah. No, that'll be huge. Do you guys have a good amount of like Hawaii and right now?
We should. I have to check back in with
Yeah, 'cause
the
we're getting in this new office on the first, so we're gonna be ripping fucking late night next couple months.
no, we definitely got you. Cool. I ain't gonna take up much more of your time, bro. I
You're
appreciate
good.
you. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the ads for you, brother. I got you.
So I kind of want to recap. So like the ads, and then
Wait
the
till
other
we get
thing
to
is
about five.
what was that?
I was gonna say just wait until we get to about five. But go ahead. You were about to say something.
Yeah. That was the other thing. I was actually gonna say that. And then also people that are like filling out the ads for like even me and my guys. There's just like some people that like fill it out and they're literally like don't need it or like never a good time to reach out or only by text. Let me see if I can find one for example. Probably the red ones. But I guess if like the team that drops these into our sheets like could be a little bit more persistent on like what they're actually filling out. Because if you get the guys on the phone that say only by text, they just hang up on you, and it's just like there's no point in that. But you'll see if you go through my list. There's like some people that list down like only text, and they'll literally say don't need it. Sometimes I've had a couple of those, but that was the only other thing that I wanted. It's
Yeah. Nah, yeah. That's the only bad thing about the
oh,
open-ended question because it is open-ended that
what are you right now? I'll be right there.
they can put whatever in there. So that's
Yeah.
like the only downside because it's not multiple choice. And
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
you know what I mean? You can see what they really said. Like, oh, I was just trying to fill it out. It's like, I mean, that you wouldn't have known that if it was multiple choice, they would have had to click,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
which is kind of like the downside. So,
No, I get that. That's fine. And then would you be able to, like, not now at all, or like not even this month, but would you eventually be able to sit down with like a couple of my top guys to go kind of go through the same thing that we just did, just like ad wise?
yeah. So, and I was going to tell you this too. Like the same thing I'm going through, you guys can sit with Mac too, because he can go through your. So if you want, like even this weekend, you have
Mm,
Mac sit down and he's break it down.
but
That's what he
sweet.
gets paid to do.
Yeah,
Deal.
no,
So yeah, put his ass to work, bro.
I
You feel
will.
me?
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
sit down with your guy and break everything down, bro. You'll be good.
Yeah, I'll send my guys to Mac then.
Yeah, and then it'll walk you through it. But yeah, you'll get a message from Mac and the team and everything about the leads. We're just finalizing these dollar ones. That's the biggest thing right now. The rest of them are already like organized though, so you should be good.
Sweet. I mean, I think that's everything. I appreciate you hopping on, man.
Dude, 100%, brother. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Yeah, man. Good talking
All
to
right.
you.
Bye.
Peace.